Hello everyone, today I'm going to do review of the Lenovo Flex 5i Chromebook. This is the 13.3-inch version. It has 8 gigabytes of RAM, i3 11th generation CPU, and this one has 64 gigabytes of eMMC storage. So let's go over the outside of the unit first. You guys can see the top, it has that Chromebook logo, Lenovo. Now this leaves fingerprints like crazy. As you guys can see, I can just put my hand on it, it will leave fingerprints. But this top is made of aluminum, everything else is made of plastic. And let me show you the bottom first. We do have the fan grills. This unit does get hot when you're using it a lot, and you will hear fan sound. But this is the grills that outputs that hot air from the unit. It also has two long stoppers when you place it on the table so it doesn't move. And on the left side we have USB-C, which charges the unit, USB Type A, we have the microphone jack, and we also have SD card reader. And on the right side we have Kensington lock slot, we have another USB-C which also charges it, we have the volume rockers, and we have the power button. Alright, so once we open the Chromebook, we can see it does have backlit keyboard. I'll talk about that a little bit more later. We have the front camera 720p resolution, and cool thing about this, it does have a privacy shutter button. It's just a like little button that you move left to right if you want to close the camera, and then when you want to use it you can also open it. I'm not sure if you guys can see, let me see if I can zoom that in. And as you guys can see, it does show like a little bit red. That means it's closed, and when it's open that red dot disappears. Honestly, I think that's pretty cool. I feel like every laptop should have that privacy thing just in case. So let's talk about what's inside the Chromebook. We have i3 CPU 11th generation. As of this moment, that's the latest generation that the Chromebook has. I haven't seen any with the 12th generation i3 or i5. And this one also has 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is amazing. It has 64 gigabytes of storage. Now, when it comes to day-to-day use with that i3 and 8 gigabytes of RAM, this thing is a workhorse. It just speeds through everything. I had few tabs open, I had other apps. As I mentioned, I have Steam running, and let me show you guys that. I have a full Steam, full Windows Steam, well, Linux Steam running, and I'm playing some games on it, and that is working amazingly. And it really pays off if you do want to use Chromebook for next 2-3 years to get a higher up model with the i3 or i5. And I would recommend 8 gigabytes of RAM just for future proof. But if you do plan on using it for just YouTube, browsing store, and playing occasional arcade games from the Google Play Store, then 4 gigabytes is fine. But if you want to use it for next few years, I definitely recommend 8 gigabytes upgrading it. Now, as you guys can see, I have a full Steam running, and my previous video I did play a couple games just to show you it is possible to run Steam and play games. Alright, next let's talk about the screen. This is a 13.3-inch full HD resolution 1080p. It's also IPS display. Now let's talk about the keyboard next. This is the full Chromebook keyboard. It doesn't have the number pads, but it's expected from 13-inch size. Now it does have a backlit keyboard, and you can also control the levels of backlit, so you can turn it off, or you can set it at 50%, or you can go all the way, which will get very, very bright. I usually keep it at about, I would say, 50%, halfway in, and the keyboard itself looks very gorgeous. Now, it was a pleasure to type on it. I really enjoyed this keyboard. Just a very, very good keyboard. So if you need a laptop for school and you're doing a lot of essays, a lot of writing, a lot of notes taking, this is definitely a very good keyboard. Now, the trackpad, on the other hand, it is a bit small. Now, let's talk about the sound of this Chromebook. The Chromebook itself has two upwards pointing speakers, one on each side. Now, I did watch some games, and I did play movies, and I did listen to some music, but let me show you guys an example how the speakers sound. First one. For me, they sound pretty good. I'm not an audio expert. The speakers are by Max Audio. Now let's talk about the camera. Let me just show you guys how that camera shutter button works. Now it is 720p, that's me, and if I move this, it will close the camera, and if I leave it open, it will show, of course, the image, and it will also give you a light. That means the camera is on. Now I do prefer it off, and I just leave it off like that. If I do end up using it, that's good. But this camera can also record video, and you can also scan stuff with it, which is another cool option. It says place all edges of the document within the frame. Scanning works best if the document and background are different colors. And it's quite amazing that you can play a Steam game like this on your Chromebook. Alright, so another cool thing about this Chromebook, it is 2-in-1, so you can actually flip the screen. You can do a tent mode, which will be show up like this, and so you can do this tent mode. So you can just browse the app you have. For example, you can open up Chrome, and you can open up YouTube, or you can go back and just type in whatever you want. You will get on-screen keyboard. Alright, so that was my review of the Lenovo Flex 5i. Thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day.